Hello, welcome back. I'm back on familiar ground today. I'm in the Bluestack Mountains and I've just passed Loch Fad. I started my walk this morning down on the shores of Loch Esk and followed a small rural road which eventually became this kind of rough track here that you can see behind me, and I've been following that right to the end. Now my target for the day, hopefully you can see it there behind me. Very hard to position the camera there. You can see it there now. So that's my target for today. There are two summits up there. They're in typical Bluestack fashion, they begin with Croach, but that's as far as I'm going to go with the naming of them today. I'll pop both the names up on the screen and a little definition of what the name actually means, but I would totally mangle the the pronunciation of them this morning, so I'm not even going to try. Some flies about now. These two summits really lend themselves to a day hike just on their own. They back on to Croaghanirwore, which I did as part of the Browns Hill walk back at the tail end of last year, I think it was, which was a fantastic walk. Really loved that. I could possibly have added on the two of these as well, but it would have made for a very, very long, very tired, very heavy day. Potentially it could have been a nice option for an overnighter, but I figured today is a good day to do them standalone as a day hike. As you can probably tell, the weather's absolutely fantastic. It's just after 8:30 in the morning. It's roasting. I'm not built for this at all. I'm really glad I did what I did. I got up early this morning, got up shortly after 5:30 this morning, got myself organised and left the house about 6:30, and I was on the road here about 7:30. I started walking. Sorry about all the fidgeting. I'm getting eaten alive here by horseflies, or clegs as we call them around here. The silent assassins. You don't know they're there until you feel a sharp bite. So so started walking about 7:30. I got here about 7:15, but the morning was just too good. I had to get the drone up and get some shots of Loch Esk and the sort of high Bluestack Ridge as well. It absolutely looked fantastic this morning in the early morning sunshine. You could see it, clear definition between the rocks and the grass and the heather. It was absolutely gorgeous. The rocks were shining that kind of bluish colour that gives the Bluestack range its names, Croaghanirwore, or the Blue Hills, and it looked beautiful in the early morning sunshine. And it was really nice walking up the road up there this morning. Everything's so quiet. There's a very, very slight breeze, and the whole world was still asleep at that stage, where it felt like I was the only one that was awake, you know. So it's the first time I've done that, and it's really, really lovely. The whole idea is to try and beat the worst of the heat today. We are at the tail end of a proper heat wave for Ireland, with temperatures this week have been in the mid to high 20s, and fairly consistently with strong spells of sunshine as well. So pretty much wall to wall sunshine most of the week. So it's been a very, very hot week and way hotter than what we would be used to. So walking conditions and with very little breeze would have been just horrible. So the plan today is to get up to the top of these two summits, get the bulk of the walking done, the hard heavy walking, before the temperature gets too warm. Though saying that, it's still 14 or 16 degrees, like it's still warm, and quite strong sunshine here as well. So get the bulk of the walking, the hard stuff done before the temperature gets too hot, and the plan is to be finished about lunchtime, to be back down onto this track at least by lunchtime and heading back down towards the van. So the other reason is that there is thunderstorms forecast for this afternoon as well. We've had a few evenings this week, or a few afternoons this week, where we have had very, very heavy rain and some thunder and lightning activity as well. So I really don't want to be up on the hill when that happens. So I've been in the Bluestacks a good few times over the last year, and hopefully you've enjoyed coming along with me. I'm not even halfway through the Bluestack summit yet, so there's going to be plenty more of this to come. And thanks for coming along with me today, and I hope you enjoy the walk. Just off the edge of the first summit there. That was a lot harder than what I was expecting. I wish I could blame it all on the ground, and I wish I could blame it all on the heat. But no, my fitness feels shot to hell today. The legs feel very, very heavy and very tired. And I feel like I'm making really hard work of everything. But anyway, it was that bad at one stage. I was going to just give up and turn back. Now, saying all that, the heat has been pretty intense. It's hazing over a wee bit now, and there's a nice little cool breeze blowing, which is an absolute godsend. It was actually too windy just up on the summit to speak to the camera, and it was absolutely glorious. The heat has been a real killer, to be honest. The ground is really, really heavy. It's very, very hard going, and much harder going than what I expected. It is true classic Bluestacks terrain, very, very soft underfoot. despite the fact that there hasn't been any rain for 3, maybe 4 weeks, apart from just the occasional downpour, which is probably soaked out of the ground really, really quickly, the ground is very soft. There's loads of hummocks and holes and deep, deep grass. The only thing I can describe it like is it's like walking in deep snow. It's I know I've said my legs are really heavy and really tired, but the ground is, you know, making that even harder going as well. So, but anyway, I have the first summit done, just over 3 hours. I kind of expected, to be honest, to have that done in 2. I've probably wasted 20 minutes filming and stuff like that, so I'm not massively behind where I expected to be. But you can see just behind me here now, just if I can point properly, that is the top of the next summit, so it's fairly straightforward. The ground is really rolly like that again, so I'm going to lose some height, gain some height, lose some height, gain some height. And I'm hoping that the maybe the grass isn't as long, because that last section just before the first summit there was a lot easier going than what it had been down in the wee kind of valleys and hollows. So I'm hoping that this is going to be, fingers crossed, a wee bit easier going. I'm starting to get hungry as well, but I don't really want to stop for something to eat. I'm getting a wee bit aware of time passing by as well. It's now 10:30. Any of the thunderstorms that have come over the last couple of days have sort of started around 2 o'clock, so I really want to be up there and off and at least back on the rough track again before any kind of thunderstorms or rain start to show their face. So on for it. Have to keep going. I decided to give in and have a cup of tea and a sandwich. Quite often people will ask me, you know, why do I go hiking? Why do I go up into the mountains? Why do I go on my own? And I wish I could put into words what it feels like when you stop like this, when you take 15-20 minutes just to have a break, and you just sit here or you stand here or whatever, just being at yourself and just enjoying the hills, just enjoying the mountains, just enjoying the sounds and the smells and the sights. It's just, I really can't put it into words, but this feeling right here, right now, this is why I go hiking. This is why I go into the mountains. And this is why I prefer to do it on my own, because as enjoyable as it can be with a group, you don't get to experience the stillness, oneness, if you want to pick a word for it. You just don't get that when you're with a group. Yeah, this is why I hike. Now, that's the second summit done. Absolutely cracker up there. Really, really good views of Loch Shade and the high Bluestack ridge behind it. Looking out then towards Goggin, looking out over Loch Esk on the other side, and then back towards me over Croaghanirwore and way over towards Croaghanirwore, Barnes Gap in the far distance. Most of the sun's gone, which is a blessing, but it means that visibility is quite a good bit reduced. It's got quite hazy, but there's a beautiful strong cool breeze blowing which is an absolute godsend. It's been a much tougher walk than I expected, and it took me 4 hours to get to the top of that second summit, and that's only 8 kilometers of walking, and well, suppose about 1.5 kilometers that at the start was very easy on tarmac road. So a much harder walk than what I expected. And as I said earlier, I nearly give up halfway. But I'm glad now I persevered. I always do. I get these thoughts of giving up and never do. I don't think I ever would give up unless I was absolutely injured, or you know, conditions were getting dangerous, or it was a situation where I was out too late, unprepared, and it was getting dark or something like that. So when it's just too tight going and lack of fitness, that's not a reason to quit. So that's the 2 summits done anyway. Challenge completed for the day, and I just need to now retrace my steps. It is a wee bit of a loop. You don't go back exactly the way it came up. In fact, I didn't really follow the track coming up anyway, so maybe this time I will. So I'm going to loop myself back around, come past those couple of lakes that I passed earlier on, and then back down onto the track that I came up on first thing this morning. So I say great day's walk, and I still have a good bit to go ahead of me yet. I figure I have probably 5 kilometers to go to get back. It's going to be shorter going back because I don't have to go back and climb the first summit again. So yeah, I hope you've been enjoying it so far, and stick with us to the end. Oh Jesus, I am absolutely done in, totally exhausted with that terrain. I thought this was going to be a relatively easy walk today, but Jesus, I don't think I've ever been so glad to see an old track that's covered in sheep and cow shite and stinks of sheep piss. I almost got down and kissed it. Oh boy, oh, that coming down was nearly as bad as going up. I really don't know how I did it earlier on today, but Jesus, my legs feel like concrete now. The ground is so difficult to walk in. It's, as I said earlier on, it's like walking in deep snow. God, oh, whoa. I'm glad that's over. And like always, I have to say I actually did enjoy it, and I'm glad I did it. But Jesus, it was hard earned today. So I'm back on the track again. That's Loch Fad there, just over my shoulder. Loch Fad, for any of you that are interested, means the long lake in Irish. And it is a really long and narrow lake, quite nice from here. Especially because I've been looking so forward to seeing it. But yeah, almost 12 kilometers done, so I figure it'll be somewhere between 14 and 15 by the time I'm finished. And I'll be glad to see the van. Boys and dear, listen, it's been a good walk, and I hope you made it this far. And as always, thanks to everybody that watches my videos, but thank you in particular for watching this one. And if you want to see me getting beat up on the Bluestacks again, just hit the like and subscribe button, and then you'll get notifications whenever I post new videos like this. So as always, again, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time.